Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds. Thursday morning, your Missouri State Bears in their first bowl game ever, the Xbox Bowl against Arkansas State. Before we get into this, though, do you even know what an Xbox is? The look he just gave me.
Hold on just a second. When they were invited to play in this bowl game, and this is, I'm calling it on my, I'm 84 years old, come on.
I know, that's why I asked you.
I'm sitting with a bunch of buddies of mine, all athletically oriented, and I said, guys, I'm sorry to have to admit this, but I don't know what is an Xbox. And they said, it's something, it's a video game. A video game. Well, that's why I don't know what the hell it is.
Ned Reynolds didn't play Nintendo? You're not a big Mario fan?
Hell no.
I'm surprised. It's probably a good thing, too. I think you would have been pretty good at Madden. You could have been really good at
Madden?
there's a really good football game, Madden football.
I'm familiar with Madden football, yes.
Which I grew up with. I mean, it's been around for, hell, as long as I've been alive.
25, 30 years.
Yeah, because I've played almost every single one of them. Not recently. Kids are too good these days. They kick my butt, even at my age. Anyway, we're way off topic. This isn't a video game show. Interestingly enough, going into the first bowl game ever for the Bears, it looks pretty damn close as far as the odds go.
The odds came up by 1 point last night, and Arkansas State is now favored by 2.5. Well, that's not very much, folks. That's virtually a pick'em game. And it understandably so, because Arkansas State, which has played in many bowl games. Their coach is Butch Jones. Come on, he was a head coach at Tennessee for years, and he's been around the coaching profession a long time. And the Jonesboro team is pretty doggone good. They're only 6-6 this year. There is one common opponent between the Bears and Arkansas State, and the one common opponent is Kennesaw State from down in a little bit above Georgia. Arkansas State played them and lost by 28-21. The Bears played them later on in the season and lost 42-35. High-scoring game. I think the Bears will be able to score against Arkansas State. Can they stop them? What kind of a hangover, and I don't mean that in the literal sense, but how are the Bears affected by the fact that Ryan Beard will not be on the sidelines? That's an intangible you do not know. But the fact is that I think it'll be a pretty good game. The fact that it's the Bears' first bowl game as a Division I FBS team, first one ever. Last night, Delaware played in their first one ever and won. Maybe that's a pretty good sign. But it's tonight. It kicks off at 8 o'clock Central Time, and it should be very interesting. They're playing at the Star. It's Ford Field, the Star. It's a Dallas Cowboys practice facility. But get this, the practice facility seats 12,000 people. And this is not the only bowl game ever at that stadium. There's another one next week, and then the East-West Shriners All-Star game is going to be there inside.
Busy place. Can't wait to watch that tonight. Again, if you want to watch the Bears in that bowl game, we're going to be at Coyotes starting at 7 o'clock. Come see us. Go Bears. All right, we did have 2 bowl games played last night. Got to watch a little bit of one. Not too bad.
It was the Cure. Well, the first one was the Cure Bowl, and that's down in Florida at the Camping World Stadium. That was Old Dominion in South Florida. I'm a little bit surprised at this one. South Florida is a pretty good football team, but Old Dominion handled them. Old Dominion won by a score of 24-10. And then in the Ventures Bowl at Mobile, Alabama, Delaware played Louisiana. What is Louisiana? Is it LSU? No. It's Louisiana. It used to be Louisiana Lafayette. And before that, whether the Raging Cajuns. And it's a pretty good football program. But Delaware stopped them on the 2-yard line with 2 seconds remaining. Got an incomplete pass out of it. Ball game prevented a tie. Delaware 20, Louisiana 13. And so, indeed, pretty good football game. And the Delaware Blue Hens, who the Bears will play in basketball in 2 weeks, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, come up with this is their initial year in FBS as well. They come up with another victory for Conference USA.
And again, St. Louis Blues
come away with the win this time.
Chucking away, and this time are able to hold on.
They score a goal in the first period, and that is it. St. Louis Blues 1, the Winnipeg Jets nothing. Tell you, the Blues have to savor every win they get because they're banged up and hurt and not a real good team at the moment. But a win's a win, and that's chalk it up.
If they can figure out what they did, I mean, Winnipeg's not great either, but if they can figure out what they did defensively last night to hold on, because the offense isn't, it's not outstanding, but they're able to score. They just need to be able to hold on.
Keep in mind that Winnipeg isn't very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The City Chiefs will not have number 15 against the Titans in Tennessee. But that wasn't the only bad news this week. There's been a lot of guys out of practice.
Good news is that Mahomes is reported to be making great progress, and he's only 2 days out of surgery. Come on, this is really phenomenal for him. Coming on and making progress and could be ready by training camp. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but we'll find out. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there are 2 receivers that Gardner Minshew may or may not have in the lineup when the Chiefs play the Titans on Sunday. Rashee Rice and Tyquan Thornton are both on the concussion protocol, and they both got slammed around pretty good in their previous game with the Chargers. Chargers hit hard. They're a tough football team. But you've got those 2 out, plus you have the various injuries on the offensive line, and yet Kansas City remains the favorite in this game by 3.5 points. That I find to be very surprising. The margin initially was up around 7. Now, it's come down since then, but the fact is that the Chiefs remain favored. I think that's testimony to how weak the Tennessee Titans are. They're not a very good team at all. But the Chiefs aren't either right now. We'll see what happens. This will be a very interesting game, but don't think for 1 second that the Kansas City Ball Club, even though they've been devastated this week, aren't going out there trying to win. These are pro athletes. They're getting a paycheck. They know that winning's the ultimate object. And indeed, I think they'll go out and play very hard as they can.
You know, I try to be an optimist as much as I can. And I think in this situation, obviously, you're going to give a bunch of guys that are young, developmental players an opportunity to develop their game too. And that helps with your depth. Even if you don't feel like that person isn't a starter right now, these games that they will get for the last 3 weeks of the year will be paramount to their development.
I think there's any question about that. Deal. Of course it will. That's why, well, when you're in a situation like that, you can see that as a silver lining because it does give these youngsters. Yeah. Oladikin, for instance, I think he'll probably dress and be the backup quarterback to Minshew. But indeed, yes, it's giving the youngsters a chance. It's putting them in competition, legitimate competition, although they're not a very good team, Tennessee. Still, Broncos next week, and then the Raiders after that. Hey, this is a good opportunity.
Yeah, big time, especially with those last 2 being divisional games, and those are always tough, no matter who's starting and who's playing. Ned, did you go to the game last night?
Did not.
Who won?
The game in town was Drury. They're playing. Now, you have to understand, this is I'm getting on my soapbox a little bit. Why are they playing this team? Central Christian. Now, where is Central Christian?
That's my next question.
I must admit, I'm not 100% certain. I think it's in Moberly. I think. But whatever it is, come on. What is there to... Now, the Drury men's team, the Drury Panthers, have struggled early in the year. They need games to win, and they haven't won at their level. But come on, did you learn anything from this one? 137-62.
Whoa, dude.
That's like you and me going out there and playing, Mike.
I think you and I might be able to do a little bit better.
We might get 63 points.
We might be able to hit 60. Maybe, depending on how those knees are doing.
That was the one. That was the game here in town. But then the one that I make it a point always to watch. You're not supposed to be a fan. I'm a reporter. But I am a fan of Gino Auriemma and the Connecticut Lady Huskies. They're the defending national champions. They're the number 1 team in America. They played the number 2 team in their conference, which is the Big East. Played Marquette last night. 89-53. Connecticut is really, really good. And it's going to take some kind of a Herculean effort for some team to knock them off. It may happen somewhere along the line. But, hey, Gino gets the best players in the country, and he makes them play.
He definitely does, and we'll see what happens. They've got a long way to go. College football, however, is coming to an end, but not before a real big bang-o lineup of games starting tomorrow. Oklahoma, Alabama, man. Couldn't ask for a better way to kick it off.
Before we get into that, there was a story that was put out today on one of the national news periodicals about are there too many games? There are 41 bowl games, 41 of them. And the gist of the article was, are there too many? And the answer is no, there are not. I'll tell you why. There are, as far as I'm concerned. This is way too many. More power to the Bears. I love the Bears, and I hope they do great, but should they be in a bowl game? All right, 41 of them. The reason is that ESPN this is ESPN and Disney own 16 of those bowl games, and they're making money out of it through television. So the television revenue is there, the advertisers are there. Why not loot them while you can with whatever you have? Now, the football playoffs do begin tomorrow night, and the first game is down at Norman, Oklahoma, at Memorial Stadium, Owen Field, Memorial Stadium. It's Oklahoma, Alabama for the second time this year. The first game was won in Tuscaloosa by Oklahoma. They won it on Alabama turnovers. Well, this time Alabama goes to Oklahoma, but it's the playoffs this time, and the Sooners are favored by 1.5 points. 1.5 points. Oklahoma is favored. I think this will be a very hard-hitting football game. There's that game Friday night, and there are 3 more on Saturday, and that's the start to the playoff round. Then you go to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and then the national championship itself.
I think to answer your question, too, I think it looks a little bit different now as well because you've got this playoff you have to count for, right? So if they didn't have this playoff schedule, probably wouldn't have as many teams getting into bowls like they do.
Well, there are 41 bowl games, and that includes these playoffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would take away the, what is it? It would be 6, wouldn't it? Let's see, 4, 5,
something like
6.
that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be as much, but, at the same time, go Bears. Ned, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.